Okay, thank you for joining me for yet another unboxing. This time we have another Osprey book, and last time we talked about, well, the science fiction, which is Frostgrave by Joseph McCullough. And of course, the one that started it all we're going to talk about is Frostgrave, which is fantasy war games in the Frozen City. Played this at a convention and I had to pick this up. Very, very cool. So let's take a look at the back and see what it's all about. Fantasy war games in the Frozen City. Amidst the frozen ruins of an ancient city, wizards battle in the hopes of discovering the treasures of a fallen empire. In this fantasy skirmish war game, each player takes the role of a wizard from one of the 10 schools of magic and builds his band of followers. The wizard's apprentice will usually accompany his master, and more than a dozen other henchman types are available for hire, from lowly thugs to heavily armored knights and stealthy thieves. Wizards can expand their magical knowledge by unlocking different ancient secrets and may learn up to 80 different spells. While individual games of Frostgrave are quick and can easily be played in an hour or two, it is by connecting them into an ongoing campaign that players will find the most enjoyment. The scenarios given in the book are merely the beginning of the limitless adventures that can be found amidst the ruins of the Frozen City. Again, Osprey Games, ospreygames.co.uk. $25 here in the US. Again, hardcover book. It has a total of 100 spell cards and everything else. We talk about like 140 pages total in the book. Right. Again, beautifully illustrated and very, very cool, very well designed. Everything's laid out beautifully in the book. The rules are comprehensive, yet they're pretty straightforward and easy to understand. And you know, after your first game, you should really be able to sink your teeth into creating a new world or place for adventuring for your characters. Again, when I play this, I use primarily 28 mil figures. So if you were going to use different ones, you'd have to scale it down or make it, you know, change the scale for, you know, shooting or whatever the ranges. But other than that, you could use any size figures that you want. Again, in the convention, I use 28 mil, but you can use whatever you want and just, you know, change the stats for each of the figures. You know, make it a little bit longer, make it a little shorter. You know, you could bend the rules a little bit. So we got for table of contents, we got Wizards and Warbands, introduction, what you'll need to play, creating a wizard, what types of wizards, assembling a warband, chapter 2, playing the game, setting up tables, turn sequence, activation, movement, combat, shooting, damage, spell casting, collecting treasures, creature actions, and of course, ending the game. Then we got, of course, the campaign, spells, scenarios, and a bestiary. So the Frostgrave book is basically set up the exact same way this book is. Of course, it's by the same author, the forward. Again, the beautiful illustrations. These are the 28 mil figures. Of course, beautifully painted. I wish I could paint like that. Of course, I can't, but love it. Again, artwork, second to none. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. Okay. Wizards and Warbands, tables, how to create a wizard, wizard types, charts. You want to be enchanter, illusionist, sigilist, necromancer, soothsayer, summoner. It goes on and on. Stat lines, choosing spells, split spells, split stats, assembling a warband, the apprentice, soldiers, stats again for all these characters. Easy stats, you know, is it a move, fight, shooting, armor, will, health, cost, and notes about them. Beautifully laid out. Again, that's what I like about it. It's not overly complex. It's pretty straightforward, fast-paced, fast-moving skirmish games. You know, you don't need to have 10,000 troops on each side. You know, if you got a war band of 10, 12 characters, you're doing well. Okay, different kinds of weapons, charts explaining them, how to set up the table, more illustration, turn, initiative, phases, wizard, apprentice, active, soldier phase, then the creature phase, activation, group activation. More beautiful illustrations, movement, instructions, combat, multiple combat examples of how combat is played. 5 different examples right there. Critical hits, shooting. Awesome. It looks a little bit like Joe Scott Soto, the singer. Cool. Modifiers to shooting. Terrain, light cover, heavy cover, hasty shot, large targets. Damage. Spell casting. Success failures and powering. Collecting treasure. Creature actions. Ending the game. Campaign. Injury, death. Look at that. That's beautiful. Again, it's fantasy based. So if you want fantasy based, again, this is the one for you. Frostgrave. If you want science fiction, of course, the other one that you want, this one here, Stargrave. Okay, you got experience levels, counting treasure, leveling up, different potions. Oh, look at that, cool. Necromancer with his skeletons, cool. Dwarves. Learn more magic items, magic weapons. Apprentices, soldiers, resources, spells, all different kinds of spells. Again, it's D&D with figures, if you think about it, except with a lot less rules. Again, this is a skirmish game, so it's very, very quick rules, and you're looking to play, you know, under an hour, depending on the size of the warband, and you know, depending on different things. But quick, or what we like to say, quick and dirty. Get in, get out. Chapter 5, scenarios, mausoleum, genie in the bottle, silent tower, the library, the living museum, worm hunts, haunted houses, the well of dreams and sorrows, the keep, the complex temple, and your bestiary, the creatures you will be fighting, skeletons, the undead, zombies, ghouls, wraiths, vampires, bears, boars, other animals, rats, spiders, toads, leopards, gorillas, constructs, demons, worms, frost giants, major demons, minor demons, snow trolls, and of course you got a bunch of spell cards that helps you explain what all these things do. Your spellcasters, and it's broken down by necromancer, soothsayer, thaumaturge. Again, you got your character sheet, setting up your wizard sheet, And there you have it. Another unboxing. This time it was Frostgrave Fantasy War Games in the Frozen City. Brought to you by Joseph A. McClellan. Of course, more information, you can get it right there. www.ospreygames.co.uk. Again, thank you for joining me. Be safe, be well. We'll see you on the next video. Enjoy the rest of your day.